Father God, we thank you for your kindness in bringing us all together today. Though we may not know what this meeting holds, we know that you do. As we begin, Lord, help us to keep your word in mind. Lead us into conversations that are fruitful and enrich the lives of those who are here today. When we are undecided, please lead us in your wisdom. When our opinions may disagree, help us to remain respectful to one another. More than anything, Lord, would you help us both to seek your will and to pursue your glory through all that we say and do. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, I call the meeting to order for agenda business, public comment. Anybody on public comment?
No, sir.
All right, next item on the agenda is minutes. We have our minutes from our May 18th meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the May 18th meeting minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 18th meeting as submitted.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the minutes from our May 18th meeting as submitted. Any further comment or suggestions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, reports. Sheriff?
We brought new cruiser, new truck back from Summersville yesterday. Chief Deputy Sharp was assigned that vehicle. And, we're still actively going through resumes and background investigations for Deputy Slot where Deputy Wolf left. And that's it.
So the truck's good to go now?
That one is, yeah. We have one more we took down and dropped off.
Is it here now, or has Brad got it?
Brad has it. Yeah, I don't know where he's at. He's working. He took one to jail already in it.
I haven't seen it yet, so I just wanted to see what it looked like.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp vehicle. We thank you for that.
Brad Sharp got a sharp vehicle, huh?
Yeah. So, but we appreciate it.
All right. Do I have to ask him?
Yeah.
Brett, you got anything?
Just the usual, Congressman sends his best and is always ready to help Randolph County with anything we can possibly help them with. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
And I do commend you on your ribbon cutting over there the other day. It was a good experience.
Thank you.
I was actually one that cut it because he couldn't go upstairs with scissors.
They gave me cheap scissors. Brenda, do you have anything? All right, I'll report about the pool. So we opened up, we had a ribbon cutting on last Friday. We opened up on Saturday. We had a total sign-ins of 216 people. Part of the thing I'm asking them to do is to find out, make sure we know where those people are coming from. We had several from Fayetteville, Morgantown, Parsons. There was a lot of people from Parsons. So it is drawing people from outside of Elkins and outside of Randolph County. So very successful, and that's just 260 people that signed in. There are several people that just came up to look at it. I mean, we had Councilwoman Judy Guy and her husband came up. I gave them a tour of the facility. She was very appreciative of it, what the commission had done for that project. Then we had a kind of rainier day on Sunday, and then Monday where we closed on Monday because the weather forecast had some thunderstorms possibly, so we didn't even chance it on Monday. And then we had an issue with an old water line from where we redid the bathhouse. New plumbing met old plumbing from like the 70s, which was just like downspout piping, thin wall downspout piping, whatever. And where construction vehicles had gone over that in this project or years past, it had warped it. So it was back, it wouldn't let water flow through that, so we had a backup. So they cut that out. That was what happened Tuesday and Wednesday. So we cut that out, got that fixed, and they're open back up today at noon. And it doesn't even look like anything ever happened because they got it all back sodded and not sodded, but strawed and grass seeds and stuff. So back open today. I was up there several times. I've been up there every day since opening. This morning we had, when I went back up there before noon, people was already there. It's already starting to really pack in. Today's our first day of private parties. And for the next 7 or 8 days, it's private parties in a row. and I think she's got 22 parties booked for all of June. So it's gonna be, and then the weather this weekend's gonna be really nice, so we're just anticipating a very strong weekend. Stan Teets, he just finally got an ice cream vendor set up for the concession stand. He was running back and forth to Walmart trying to keep up with the ice cream for the kids. It's going very well. And for people that, you know, we are happy that everybody that's been supporting us, Jeff, I can't say enough about Jeff Pritt, working with him, and the Elks on any of the issues that have come up. He's been right there by my side on this project, so really appreciate that. And so it's going very well. So that's my report on the pool for now. Do you have any correspondence? All right, so announcements, our next meeting will be on the 15th, is that right, at 1:30?
Yep.
Is that around Father's Day? When's Father's Day?
Sunday, 18th.
The 18th. Rick, you don't have to get us anything for that meeting, does she, since it's Father's Day leading into it? All right, items of discussion, informational presentation, funding request from Back to School Bash.
Okay. Thanks for having us. I'm Kara. I'm the marketing director at Mickey Rogers State Farm. I'm gonna get you guys a flyer. My boss Mickey's with me today. I'll leave these up here if anyone else wants one. So we just wanted to take the time to come talk to you today regarding the Back to School Bash. As you're aware, she owns Mickey Rogers State Farm. It is a for-profit business, but we have grown this Back to School Bash, it'll be the 3rd annual, to something incredible for our community. And with that, the cost is obviously higher. So we distribute free backpacks to the community filled with the appropriate school supplies from the actual schools. So we're not only giving out those backpacks, but we're ensuring that the backpacks are filled with the supplies that's actually needed, grade appropriate, and sort them out. With that, we also like for it to have activities free for the community so kids can participate in that. And with the free items, we have 4 big bounce houses coming, which are, all these things that we are offering for free obviously come with a cost to us. So we're just coming today to try to explain the bash and how great it is for the community and the success that we're seeing, in hopes that perhaps you guys would be interested in assisting with some of the funding for it. We're very thankful and grateful that I was able to pick up a co-sponsor, Megacorp Logistics, this year. That's going to help significantly with it. But the more that we add to it, the better it'll be for the community, but also the increase of expense will rise. We strongly feel that with what you guys have done with the pool for our community, for children that have less of an opportunity perhaps to go to vacations and what have you, between the pool and this free community event, we feel that they go a little bit hand in hand in terms of it's an awesome opportunity. Bring your kids out, take that stress off of you. Here's your school supplies, but we also want you to have a great time with the face painting. We have the Paw Patrol characters coming. We're a free photography shoot, free haircuts, and those sort of things for children in our community. And we're just trying to expand that more and more. This year, we're also inviting nonprofit organizations to come out. And the nonprofits are being offered to not only market the service that they do for our community, but also to participate. If they want to have a free fun craft out there for kids to participate in, that's great. So we're very grateful that Youth Health Services have signed on to participate with us this year, and then a lot of the nonprofits are still getting back to us. With that, I will let Nikki give you a little bit of the stats and data that we have within the last 2 years, because this will be the 3rd year that we've offered it.
So the first year was right after COVID, and we handed out over 300 backpacks filled with school supplies, and we actually ran out. So I made a list and ordered 100 more. So we were looking at a little over 400 backpacks total. We did that bounce houses the first year. Last year, unfortunately, with all the amount of backpacks that I had to purchase, because I've basically been doing this on my own, I've had some small sponsors, which I'm extremely grateful for, but I wasn't able to secure the bounce houses last year. So we gave out right at 300 last year as well. We probably did 150 free haircuts. So we're offering the free haircuts again this year. Like Kara said, last year we had Mickey and Minnie. That was a huge hit. This year we're doing Paw Patrol. We do have a photographer who's going to do free photos for the children again, and their parents can get those. I was talking to Red. I grew up in Calhoun County. So my dad was a pipeliner. I'm one of those people who didn't always have a new backpack. I didn't always have everything that I needed. And now that I'm able to do that for the community, and especially if we can expand this every year, that's what I really want to do. Eventually, I would like for this to turn into like an old style carnival. Flip the dimes at the glasses, the child gets the glass. But we don't want to do anything that's going to cause the parents any type of stress financially. We want it to be something fun for the kids that the parents can walk away with their backpack and everything they need. It does seem a little bit early. I know July seems a little bit early, but I try to do that based on when people get their checks at the beginning of August. I don't want them to go buy all these things when they can come and get them at the bash. But if there's something extra they need that we didn't provide, I want them to know what that is. So we do try to do it in July before people get their checks in August. So do you guys have any questions at all?
Where do you hold it at?
It's actually in the parking lot of my office in the Tigert Valley Shopping Plaza. Craig is my landlord and he is very gracious to let us use as much of the parking lot as we want. Sherry actually has her car show club that comes in now. We have vendors that want to set up if they do have things that they want to sell. We allow them to set up for $20 donation towards the backpacks. We have a couple food trucks. We try to keep everything local as much as possible so that the people who are here locally can contribute and come and sell their food and things like that too. Last year we probably saw total about 500 to 600 people.
So what's like the total expense that you had on this?
Last year it was probably around 5,000, and this year even just the bounce houses alone are almost 2. So it does get, and depending on how many backpacks, it just keeps growing. I'm anticipating up to 500 backpacks this year. So we did have some left from last year, but I will have to purchase more. And like Kara said, we reach out to each school, find out what's on their list even before they actually put it in the Walmarts and things like that, so that we can try to make sure that all of the main things they need to come that first day are in their backpack. And we do hygiene packs as well for the middle school.
Okay, so what amount that were you looking for?
I mean, I would be grateful for anything, honestly. I mean, even if it's something small this year and maybe we revisit it every year just based on the statistics from the prior year, but I would be grateful for anything.
And have you reached out to Elkins, City of Elkins, or?
I did last year. I spoke to them and there wasn't really anything that they were able to do. I have not this year.
Okay. You got questions? The thing is, you said is there a nonprofit though, because it's hard to give money to to State Farm.
Right, so I
You have to
do,
go through a nonprofit.
and see, we don't really have.
There's some
You said
nonprofit-
youth services?
Yes, there's some nonprofits coming on board. Youth Health Services might be interested. That's something that we could visit as the nonprofits start coming on board, because they're getting that free marketing opportunity. We're letting people know they're talking about their services and interacting with children, which is great for someone like Youth Health. You know, I can't speak on their behalf about speaking to them, of course, but as we get more nonprofits involved in this, we would like to see the same thing that you're.
Yeah, or create a 501c3 for this.
Okay.
But, you know, this year we could probably work with them and the money could be a pass-through.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely something that we're interested in. And like she said, we're just trying to grow it every year. So it's almost like if you didn't get the opportunity to go on vacation for whatever reason, you stayed home this year, budgeting might not be even the reason. You can come have a free fun day in the middle of summer, right before school starts with us. And we're thinking about trying to add a dunk tank and inviting people like yourself if you want to be in it.
If you do that, Mr. Siler has volunteered as your first dunk
First
team.
person.
I would
Thank
do
you.
it.
But will you let us know about if you get a nonprofit on board?
absolutely.
That might have been what happened with the City of
The
Elkins
city.
last year, not being able to help you because it wasn't.
Why are you taking up for this?
I'm not. Just saying.
Well,
What I would suggest you might do is talk to our sheriff and talk to the detachment commander up here at State Police, and you might be able to get them guys to come down and do fingerprints for kids and for the parents.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
State Farm funds, we have the
Yes, Rob.
DUI simulator that comes as well, so that you can sit down and look like what it's gonna be if you're driving under the influence, so they come as well, so.
Yeah.
I'm
We haven't
interested in the free haircut.
Ah.
My hair grows fast. But
I know we used to go to them a lot and do, sit down and do fingerprints for the parents, which is just basically, we had cards. Troopers Association used to give out these cards and you just basically a thumbprint. And you put each of your thumbprints on the paper and then the parents can take that little pamphlet and put a current photo of the kid in there. And then they would have it. Now if the child come up missing or something, then they'd have something to go with law enforcement with.
Yeah, no,
That'd
that's
be
a great,
great.
yeah, that's a great idea.
He's also volunteered to sit on your board for this too.
When we start the
Well,
501c3.
and as you guys think through this, if there's any other ideas like that, please let us know, because we are open to anything. Like Kara said, we just want it to be bigger every year. The
I mean,
kids
this
can
is-
come and have a good
This is
time.
great, something that we want to support.
What day is it in July?
July 16th.
I want to ask Brooke to, we'll call the auditor's office at the state level to make sure, to see if we can directly fund, this to you, or do we have to go through a nonprofit?
Okay.
So, and then if you do, while we do that, you reach out to a nonprofit that might be able to as well.
So,
Okay.
I mean, if we could just go through another nonprofit and.
We're gonna get it cleared through the auditor's
Right,
office.
right.
Okay.
I completely-
That's
Well,
amazing.
and we really appreciate your time for hearing us out on this. It's something we're very passionate about. I spent most of my career in the nonprofit world, and so I'm very grateful that when I came on board with Nikki, she's a very giving person, and I get to do some of the same things that I really love, but be with my family more. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to entertain the back to school bash. As I said, we're both very passionate about
We
it.
will try, and like I said, we should have an answer at our June 15th meeting.
Okay.
Perfect, that's
Thank
amazing.
you.
Thank you guys so much. And like I said, if you think of any other ideas, please let us know, because
All right.
with
Thank
those
you,
tank,
guys.
you could be number one.
Yeah, I'll try to partner with you guys, share some of this.
Perfect, and I'll be in touch.
Okay.
We gotta go to the next meeting if that's okay. Thank you guys.
Thank y'all.
On speed.
It could be called hooked on haircuts.
All right, next is, on the item on the agenda is, consider approval of partnership with United for Kids. We've got a letter, I'm so excited to be in charge of United for Kids collection again this year. Really appreciate your help in collection for us last year. They're collecting, we were able to stock 50 school hygiene pantries in 5 counties last year. Teachers and school personnel were grateful. They've added some things to the list. What's gonna happen is we have collection bins, they're putting them throughout, they just wanna, is it just the lobby of the King Annex, is that it? Just here?
Yeah, I'm sure Angela has
Oh,
more to say
sorry.
on that.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, if you just wanna put out a bin, you can do it either way. We also have like where people can purchase online. It's really cool. We really did our homework this year. We found a company that works with nonprofits where you can order whole hygiene kits. So if a kid needed something, the teacher could just give them the whole kit. So that's pretty neat. And then we also have our Amazon registry for people that just wanna buy like shampoo or conditioner. So we met with teachers a couple years ago and asked them what was needed. And they said, please, 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 we spend our own money to buy kids hygiene items. And so we wanted to relieve the burden off of them. And we were actually kind of surprised when we started doing some research. 71% of children in Randolph County, I should say, live in non-traditional households. So a lot of those caregivers need a village, I know that when I was younger, when I was a single mom, I worked 2 and 3 jobs, so it's rough, but and now, I just went the other day to buy conditioner, it was $8. All I needed was conditioner, you better be lucky, or you better be glad you're lucky. But yeah, I couldn't believe it, so I can't imagine how people on a fixed income, grandparents trying to buy stuff for their children or grandchildren. But yeah, or you could host a collection, which is we could put a bin out there. We found though that if people don't really market it to people, like if you didn't tell the other people in the building, it probably would go unnoticed. Like we've tried to put some in Walmart and stuff and they've never done well. It's gotta be a place where somebody's like, hey, did you bring in a stick of deodorant today? Or Arch Cole in Taylor County, they ordered $5,000 worth of stuff off of our Amazon list last year. And Arch Cole and Barber really helped us too. And there was a place in Marion County, they ordered a couple $1,000 worth of stuff. So, but we were able to use that to stock all 50 schools' hygiene pantries. And I love the whole idea. A lot of people didn't understand much about the merger when we merged with Marion and Taylor County, but it's actually been so good. We've actually been able to give out more money to nonprofits in Randolph County since the merger. It's just the idea of like bringing things together, and you guys probably know how it works. You only have one finance person, you have one person that does this and that. So it makes it really nice, sometimes a merger. And then we've been able to bring in their community impact programs too. We did 609 tax returns in our 5 counties for free for people through VITA. And we've been doing the coat drive and now this United for Kids. So that's stuff that I think really makes an impact, and we call it community impact programs because of the impact it makes. But I can give you these. Yep, pretty much we just want to put a bin. I mean, if you guys wanna order stuff, I wouldn't get upset. It actually ships right to our office and we sort them out and send them to the schools.
Thank you.
We'll probably get a press release.
Okay.
And to give you an idea of the need, Elkins Middle School, I took them 2 IKEA bags that hold up to 200 pounds of hygiene items at the beginning of the year. They were out in 2 months.
All right,
I'll make a motion to approve the placement of donation bin for United for Kids in the lobby of the Kane Annex.
all right, so motion on the floor is to approve the placement of the donation bin for United for Kids in the lobby of the King Annex. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And then you can get the word out to the, county employees.
Mhm.
Okay,
Intermountain can blow that up too.
yeah.
You can pay your taxes.
It's something that's really important. I'm sorry I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's just, kids can't focus on school if they're worried about being dirty or hungry or,
Absolutely. So thank you. Next item on the agenda is consider approval of funding request from Randolph County Senior Center. Would you like to speak to this since you know Miss Laura Ward?
Laura is actually waiting for you guys to call her for when we got to this agenda item.
You got her number? Cause I don't think I've got it.
It's on the sheet.
I knew he had it, that's why I said that.
That's why he gives me hell.
He's got her on speed dial.
But you missed your opportunity, the lady that was here for the bash, she said her previous job, she was in charge of the senior center in Barber County. She could have done the presentation.
Not as good as Laura.
Can't get her loud enough.
She's not gonna answer. All right,
Yeah, she's busy or something.
go ahead and move on. Tell us about it.
Laura had come to us, talked to us about the roof for the senior center here in Randolph County, or here in Elkins. We've got another project for roof and one in Mill Creek. That's another project we'll be working on later. However, this project was going to be, oh, there's Laura now. Hello. Good, I was just starting without you. Why don't you go ahead, and since you're here, you can tell us about the project.
Okay. I'm in the middle of Subway. We just unloaded a U-Haul. So
Just gonna
the
sit down.
roof is $197,000,
You don't hear that?
which was the lowest bid. The highest bid was $318,000. We got $80,000 from our own budget that we're using life money for. We're tickled to death that we got $87,000 from legislators. And that leaves the remaining balance of, just over $30,000 that we've asked for help from you for.
Okay.
So the current one was put in 2001 and had a 15-year warranty, so it's it's lived more than they anticipated.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. Now, Lice is the only one you haven't got money from, right?
Hold on one second. I'll be right. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Linus is the only one, and he informed me that he's not in our district, and so we're also going to have to replace the roof on the Mill Creek Nutrition site, and so that is in his district, and that's what we'll have to use for his money for, and that's $7,500.
Okay, so he wasn't sure originally though, was he, about whether it'd be able to be used for this one or not?
Correct.
Okay, because that's what we adjusted it for. And then, Dave and I had talked about making a change to that if we need to, if that money can't come through, and then we'll add that on at a later date.
Okay.
But it sounds like he can't use it for the Elkins one, but he can use it for up the valley, right?
He can for sure use it for
was my
that one.
understanding.
All right, so just,
Yeah, that was my understanding.
so just adjust it today to the 3477.
3477, okay. All right. Well, Laura, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion to approve the request for the Randolph County Senior Center in the amount of $34.77.
$30,477.
$30,477, to be taken from the courthouse contractual.
All right, so motion on the floor is to approve the request from the Randolph County Senior Center in the amount of $30,477 to be taken from the courthouse contractual line to help, with the necessary replacement of the roof on the Elkins Senior Center. So is there any further discussion on that?
No.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, there you go.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it, and I'm sorry I couldn't be there. We're moving Russell today, and so it's kind of awkward, but I appreciate you letting me do this.
See you, Laura.
We'll get your check sent to you, okay?
Thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye. All right, that one's done.
All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval of 2024 VOCA grant and supplemental actions. Item D, I don't have an item D.
That one actually needs to be tabled. They moved the date on the application that it's due, so Mindy had asked that it be moved to the next meeting.
Okay, I'll
Alright,
make a motion to table item D until the next commission meeting.
So motion on the floor is to table item D. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next item is consider approval of payment of the pool chemicals. Okay, before I start on that one, I meant to say too, on the opening day, we had a private donor donate money to cover the expense of, so we could give free admission on the opening day. And there's been several other businesses that have reached out to me or to Jeff or to Kim, who's also she's part of the Elks that's helping run it, to sponsor free days. And so we're looking at that as well. And I know State Farm was one of them that is looking to do a free day. And we'll have those announced throughout the season as well. So I just wanted to make sure that that was in there. And then we have a bill on the chemicals that we've been using at the pool in the amount of $523. So I'd like to have a motion to pay that bill.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment to Citgo Water in the amount of $523 to be taken from Hotel Motel.
So motion on the floor is to approve the payment to Citgo Water in the amount of $523 taken from Hotel Motel. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And again, Sam Kirkpatrick, the gentleman who's been helping us, he has his own private business. He does, but he's been up there, and he's been the one who has made sure that the water chemical balance and everything is, because it operates on an automated system, but he's been there since day one too, and I really appreciate him. Consider approval of quote from Casto Technical Services. We have a quote from them in the amount of $11,720. This is to install a 1-ton ductless split system for the IT room on the second floor. This is at the
Weast Annex.
Because when they went in there, it was very overheated, you could say, and there's a lot of sensitive equipment in there that needs an air conditioning to keep it running properly, or we're going to have more than $11,000 to replace. So, do I have a motion to approve the quote from Casto Technical Services?
I'll make a motion to approve the quote from Casto Technical Services in the amount of $11,720 to be taken from the other buildings, other improvements line.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor to approve the quote from Casto Technical Services, the amount of $11,720 taken from other building and maintenance improvement line. This is something, again, that we budget things like this, so that's what we're taking it from that line. So any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And I just got a text from Jeff Pritt. We have over 140 people already checked into the pool already today, so that's great. So we'll want to far exceed our grand opening day. All right, next item on the agenda is to consider approval of the AC, I always want to say ABC license, but it's the ACBA license. Now, this is for Vixen Ventures, Inc., Fox Hops Brewery. You know where that's at, Siler?
Yep.
You know what it's gonna be?
A brewery.
It's gonna be a brewery. They're on the 5-lane. If you notice, they're across up from, what's his name? Mark Cross's place.
Mm-hmm.
That's
America's Mattress. up on the bank?
Yeah,
Across the street from American
They put that,
Baptist.
they're putting that building up there, they're putting a brewery in there, so they need a license for that, so, again, we have no, zoning, there's no zoning outside of the city limits. So we'll provide them a letter for that so they can apply for that license, but you may wanna know what that building is, it will be called, I guess, Fox Hops Brewery is gonna be going there. So they're applying for their license, so do I have a motion to approve, the letter for their license?
I'll make a motion to approve the ACBA license as presented.
So motion on the floor is to approve the ACBA license for Fox Hops Brewery as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So there. All right, next item on the agenda is to consider approval of payment of a veterinary bill. And these are for the animals seized by Ron. Those animals that was, this is from that very first huge raid.
No, this is from the one from last week.
Oh, this is that one dog.
Yeah.
All right, so story behind this is I get a call from Ron that, it was on a week, I think it was like a weekend or Saturday or Friday or Saturday, that he has a dog that someone, had called in about a dog. So he went to it and checked on this dog. And this dog was covered in flies, skin and bones. It was awful. So he seized the dog. We took it to the vet. It had Lyme's disease, where it had the ticks and wasn't being treated for that. And so they wanted to do a blood transfusion on the dog because he was such a bad shape. He was only a 2-year-old. I think he was 2 years old. So we approved that. So they went to the shelter and got the pit bull that was down there, a healthy pit bull, took him down there and for the blood transfusion for this sick dog. He got a little bit better on it, but it eventually succumbed to his, this inhumane way the dog was treated. He ended up passing away. So, we did everything that we could for this dog, this animal, to try to save it, and it ended up costing $1,963.37, which we'll go for restitution, on this animal, but it's just awful the way that dog lived its life. So do I have a motion to approve the payment to Allegheny Veterinary Services in the amount of $1,963.37?
I'll make a motion to approve the payment to Allegheny Veterinary Service in the amount of $1,963.37 to be taken from courthouse contractual.
So motion on the floor is to approve the payment to Allegheny Vet Services in the amount of $1,963.37 to be taken from our courthouse contractual line. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Just very sad. All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval of our insurance renewal for fiscal year 2024. We were going to do this a couple meetings ago. We tabled it. We just want to make sure everything was properly covered for the pool, which it is. So do I have a motion to approve the renewal for our insurance for fiscal year 2024?
I'll make a motion to approve the renewal as presented.
So motion on the floor is to approve our renewal for our insurance for the fiscal year 2024. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So, final settlements and annual accountings. We have 8 final settlements.
I'll make a motion to approve the 8 final settlements as presented.
So the motion on the floor is to approve the 8 final settlements as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, budget revisions.
There are 3.
When is the last time we can do a budget revision? Is it next meeting? Or
It's next meeting.
Next meeting?
Yeah, probably should do like a memo to everybody and let them know that, I would say. That would be good.
That'd be very good. So make sure we get that out to all elected officials. The last time they can do an in-house budget revision needs to be to for our June 15th meeting. All right, so we have an in-house budget revision from the sheriff, $372 to be taken from his automobile maintenance to telephone line. Decrease in telephone is going to auto maintenance line. Okay, so all in favor of the in-house budget revision for the sheriff are $372.
You want me to make a motion?
All in favor? You can make a motion.
What's that?
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff as presented.
So, okay, so the first in-house budget revision for the sheriff, $372, all in favor?
Aye.
We have another one from him. This is to, adjust an expense line in the amount of $1,495. He's decreasing investigation line and an increasing contract services and training line. So I have a motion for that one.
I'll make a motion to approve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff as presented.
Motion on the floor is to approve the in-house budget revision for the sheriff in the amount of $1,495. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we're, making our, mental health contribution.
Yeah, so that's just correcting something in the system. So when we did the mental health contribution that we normally do, which is like $18,000, they took it out of the health department line, which is just one number off from it in the system. So we just have to go in and fix it.
Oh, yeah, 801, and we took it out of the we took it out of 800, and it's supposed to be 801.
Yeah.
All right, so, this is a state budget revision, so roll call vote to approve the state budget revision, to correct the mistake on the mental health and health department line. Commissioner Kiesling, aye. Commissioner Seiler?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, division of properties? We have 15 erroneous assessments or division of properties?
Erroneous assessments.
15 erroneous assessments. Motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the 15 erroneous assessments as submitted.
All right. Motion on the floor is to approve the 15 erroneous assessments as submitted. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any fire fee adjustments?
No.
Yes.
Scratch properties.
That too. That was my next item on the agenda.
You always get.
Payment of the bills.